Hello, this is Eileen, the environmental educator. And in this video, we're going to talk about how environmental tyranny is creeping into your life. And people ignore it like they ignore everything important. But this is real. This is April 21st, 2023. Biden signed an enforcing executive order um, enforcing social justice credit scores. So these are coming. Now, right now, this is for federal agencies, but this article ends down here and it says Biden's order raises grave concerns for those who believe that social justice credit scores could be used to force the administration woke agenda on individuals. Now, that is absolutely justified with this next headline right here. Biden uses first veto to defend ruling on um, social credit justice scores in investing. And this was a March 20th, 2023 article. And so he used his veto to prevent ESG from having an effect on the investment of retirement funds. So this is the start of it, people. This is real. They are out to control every aspect of your life. And when the dollar collapses and they bring in their new digital dollar, that they can not only see everything you spend, but have control over everything you spend, this is going to be China, and you are going to get to spend what they decide you can. And that's it, and that is going to be dependent upon their scores, which have very little, if any, actual environmental concern. Because if you've been around here before, you know that all environmental voices since November '93 have prevented the solutions the world needs that would have solved our problems, and we wouldn't be talking about environmental problems, nor would we be talking about environmental justice. Okay, because this isn't to the occupation about the environment at all. This is about control and justice, of course, because Americans, we all know, are the problem with this country. So this trending politics news says Biden has recently signed an executive order that could potentially affect millions of Americans in the name of environmental justice. And the order is an attempt to further strengthen federal agencies and aims to address so-called environmental inequities that impact communities of color, low-income communities, and indigenous communities. Oh, okay, okay. Okay. Okay, and the executive order is titled Revitalizing Our Nation's Commitment to Environmental Justice for All. Not environmental responsible action, not cleaning up the toxins and the chemicals and all the pollutants that we use, not ending our disposable society, not getting you literate, not utilizing hemp. No, 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 no. It is about environmental justice for all. Because, yeah. hmm So this directs agencies to consider measures to address and prevent disproportionate and adverse environmental and health impacts on communities, including cumulative impacts on pollution and other burdens like climate change. So seems to me that they want to start putting factories in the suburbs. Okay, so yeah, they are not out for America, that's for sure, or the environment. This is about justice, okay? This has nothing to do with the environment. This is about tyranny and controlling people and letting Americans know they're the problem in America. Okay, now you would think that this would already be out there, but it says the order requires agencies to notify nearby communities in the event of a release of toxic substances from a federal facility. and hold public meetings to share information on resulting health risks and necessary precautions because the government is so trustworthy and we don't already do this. Okay, it's 2023. Okay. So the White House statement says Biden hopes to conduct new assessments of their environmental justice efforts to develop, implement, and periodically update environmental justice strategic plans. So, yes, we've got agencies involved with this. And we have a new government wide assessment of federal agencies, which is the Environmental Justice Scorecard. Yes, and this is the first version of the Environmental Justice Scorecard or Phase 1 scorecard, the White House wrote, which presents a baseline assessment of actions taken by federal agencies in 2021 and 22 to help achieve the occupation's environmental justice goals. Okay, this is just so absolutely just absurd. And this scorecard reports on advancing, you better be advancing your dictator's initiative, and then implementing and enforcing environmental and civil rights laws. Well, implementing scary because can't imagine what they'd like to put into law. But, we already have laws. And why are civil rights part of the environment? This is all just ridiculous. But then embedding environmental justice throughout the federal government. Oh, well, that sounds good for the population. But he doesn't intend to keep it just here because the order emphasizes strengthening nation to nation relationships on issues involving environmental justice. So we're going to take this international. And Biden is about these social scores because, yes, he on March 20th he he rejected a Republican proposal to prevent pension fund managers from basing investment decisions on factors like climate change. And it's his first veto. And he was just looking out for the people because he signed the veto because the legislation would put at risk the retirement savings of individuals across the country. Oh, okay. And complete economic collapse isn't going to do that. Put the risk, it's going to wipe out the retirement savings of people. So, again, the occupation does not care about Americans, they care about their agenda. So, and Congress put this rule forth to overturn a Labor Department rule. All these bureaucrats make rules and then they enforce them with their armed agents. With the rule which made it easier for fund managers to consider environmental, social, and corporate governance or ESG issues for investments and shareholder rights decisions, such as through proxy voting. So the Senate, the people that put this forward are, trying to not bring this just a Pandora's box that they're about to open into people's lives, essentially. This would really be the beginning of it in America. So yeah, the Republicans who pushed this said they were just trying to prevent things that are woke liberal practices. And two Democrats, Joe Manchin of West Virginia and John Tester of Montana, they both voted with the Republicans. They say they both face re-election in Republican-leaning states. So, yeah, I don't know if either of them are any good. I know that John Tester cares nothing about the environment. Well, his staff, they are just horrible people. And I know they care nothing about Americans working in America either. So foreign workers, I know that absolutely certain from a personal experience with John Tester's staff. So John Tester is not on your side. I can guarantee you that. But the Republicans claim the rule, which covers plans that collectively invest 12 trillion on behalf of 150 million Americans, would politicize investing by allowing plan managers to pursue liberal causes, which they say would hurt financial performance. So McCarthy said, the occupation, the puppet, just wants Wall Street to use your hard earned money, not to grow your savings, but to fund far left political agenda that will hurt seniors and workers. And Kevin is, of course, leaving out, so isn't going to the complete economic collapse, in which is going to wipe out all retirement, all savings, all people's wealth. So they failed to mention that. So that's pretty important. But after it all collapses and the occupation, the New World Order implements their digital currency where they control everything. These credit stores, they're not just for government agencies, for investing, they're for you. And this is coming. It gets put in increments. And once it's digital currency that they have total control over, you are at their mercy. And then this fool, Schumer, accused Republicans of interfering with private investing decisions. The Republicans are saying, why don't we take this ESG interference in investing decisions out and let just, have the free market capitalism and stats of what good companies are and where it is good to invest your money guide investment decisions, but instead making a fool of himself. Schumer said that they are forcing their views down the throats of every company and every investor, which the Republicans they do. I mean, the Democrats they truly do the what's that communist who wrote the how to collapse countries to communism. It's accuse them of what you're doing, and I mean that's all that comes out of the woke people's mouths. But even Manchin said that despite a clear and bipartisan rejection of the rule from Congress, President Biden is choosing to put his administration's progressive agenda above the well-being of the American people. And Manchin's no opposition to wokeism. So, and he called it a radical apology agenda, and that truly is all it is. And it is coming to your living room. If you think they're stopping with investing or with federal agencies, you're kidding yourselves. And if you think that without somebody like Willie going out here and saying, hey, why don't we actually do it good, like end our disposable society and use hemp for everything and get people to just live responsibly, like I do with my guitar, like I put in my video last night. Um, Nothing's ever going to happen, but tyranny is going to come breathing down your necks from angles Americans can't even imagine. So stay tuned, people.